You know, a couple of years ago, I'd had a couple of run-ins with replacement dad. He threatened to fight me multiple times. He attempted to run me over with two separate vehicles while I was walking through a parking lot. So I filed for a temporary protective order in their county with this evidence. I had witness statements that he had tried to fight me on multiple occasions. And in that hearing, the judge decided that it was just two dudes that weren't getting along, and the qualifications for the temporary protective order weren't met. So the judge didn't grant it. Over the last 5 years, I've been in and out of family court with my ex-wife, initiated by her every single time. The piles of paperwork, of false allegations and false claims and lies on her side literally would amaze you. In just the last 2 years, I have defended myself against two temporary protective order applications that were lied about and drawn up by her. And in both cases, the judge found no evidence of actual danger caused, but the judge allowed the protective order to exist for 90 days just in case. The second protective order put a 25-foot space between me and the kids. Now, the protective order wasn't for between me and my ex-wife. It was between me and the kids. And I have zero history with law enforcement. I have never been arrested. There have been no reports made to law enforcement about my activity with the kids or about me showing up at any of their rodeos to watch from a distance. I have no history with law enforcement. Having been in all of those circumstances and having to defend myself against false protective orders and false claims in family court, every time that I brought back evidence that showed my ex-wife was lying, it made the kids' lives harder. And that's what a lot of people don't understand about a manipulative, narcissistic co-parent is when they lose, the kids pay the price. So as I show up at the kids' activities, the kids get super nervous because they don't know what crazy shit their mom and replacement dad are going to pull out of their asses. The kids have no clue what's going to happen when I show up. So my presence is the catalyst for all of the craziness in their lives. Now, there's going to be a lot of people with this mentality. A lot of people are going to say, wow, you just gave up. You just turned your kids over to the wolves. While part of that could be viewed as the case, anybody with this comment has no clue what a truly manipulative and problematic co-parent is. They've never dealt with it themselves. They don't understand that stepping back, giving the situation some fresh air and some time, and how that benefits the kids. I'm not going to be patient with anybody who wants to come at me with comments like this, because I will tell you that you have no clue what you're talking about. Yes, it's easy to say, oh, I would fight for my kids to the death. In my case, it would be the death of the kids. Either that or I'd get put in prison for violating a false protective order. Either way, neither one of those situations is cool. Do you realize that kids from high conflict divorces are very susceptible to suicide? Apparently, you don't realize that. And anybody who shares your comment has no clue that these kids need a break. They need a rest. They need some level of peace. And as the most responsible adult in my kid's situation, it's my job to provide them with the peace that they need, regardless of what it costs me. And fighting, tooth and nail, is the exact thing that's going to put the kids into a suicidal ideology.